Welcome back to Studio 5. You know, women are busy, women are stressed, and women are stretched. So when was the last time you really stopped to appreciate the role of being a woman? Life coach and author Connie Sokol is here with ways to balance womanhood with motherhood. And I love this topic. I'm so passionate about it. I know you are.
Yes.
What's the difference between motherhood and womanhood? Because sometimes I think as life progresses, those roles get blurred.
Yes, they do. I think women, when we get into being moms, we forget that we are a woman first. That's what we were before we became a mom. And we kind of neglect that, but it's at our peril because we're still a person. So when we acknowledge that and we validate that, then we fill that bucket and we feel more excited about being a mother and giving to other people, especially our children, and not resentful that, wow, what happened to me?
So it's possible to live both, to embrace
Absolutely.
both.
And woman, wife, and mother. And so being able to include all those and acknowledge each of those areas and put a little coin in those emotional buckets is really big.
You say boundaries, though, are key when defining these roles and really living them out.
Yes. In fact, when we are so a go-go, and I notice this with mothers especially, we see a need and we feel that compelled to fill it. We must be the ones to fill it. And that's really a disservice to our children a lot of the times. You know, Bobby forgot to load the dishwasher. Susie forgot her report. And we just knee-jerk reaction. We run it and we do it. Instead, we can say, is this my responsibility? Is this the best use of my energy right now? And consider ourselves as a person. Because sometimes it is, and you know what? Sometimes it isn't. So when you get done with cooking dinner, don't just start cleaning up. Let the other family members clean up. If you have carpool, you don't have to run kids to 3 different sports. You can stop and say, is that the best way for me to work at this time? I know this happened just a few days ago with my sweet 9-year-old. She was so cute. She called me up. She forgot her lunch. Mom, I forgot my lunch. Can you come bring it to me? You know, she's not going to starve. She doesn't like what they were serving. And I said, you know, honey, it's just not going to work for me today. And it wasn't. For me, that's going to be a 15 to 20-minute deal. For her, that's about as long as she has lunch, and she's just thinking about the treat she packed. You know, it's not a real emergency. That's what's important to her. So I validated her, and I just kept saying, I'm so sorry, but I'll put it in the fridge for you, and you can have it as an after-school snack.
Did she struggle with that answer?
She slammed on the phone, you know. But then she came home. It was forgotten. She completely forgot about the lunch. But I would have upended what I was doing to go bring her lunch. So instead of just automatically filling, we can stop and say, you know what? Mama's sanity is important too. And in my case, I have 6 kids. So you times that by 6, that can get pretty heinous.
So by setting those boundaries, if I'm understanding you, you're also teaching your children valuable life lessons, including accountability.
That's right. That's right. And that's the second thing, is teaching your children accountability. And this is huge. This is more about long-term effects of their choices. And Joy Lundberg is so great with this. She talks about with adult children, especially, not caving and not jumping in and fixing it for them, but helping them to learn to stand on their own 2 feet. So say, for example, your adult child calls home for money from college or newlyweds or whatever and wants money and says, wow, it's really tough right now, you know, we're out of money. You can just validate. Don't jump in and solve it. Just validate and say, you know, that is tough. I don't like running out of money either. You know, no sarcasm, but just kind validation. And then if they push for cash, don't jump in and solve it, and don't feel guilty either. You can stop and say, this is not mine. This is a great life lesson. So help them find a solution. You know, what can you do to earn more money right now? Or what can you do to better budget for next time?
Is it ever hard to really hold to that in your home?
Absolutely. In fact, we just had this experience with our son. He got a C grade, and he's a great kid, but he got this C grade, and he's way capable of more, and he admitted he'd been lazy. And so his iPod went into cold storage till that grade came up. But then, like, his interest waned, and he found other entertainments. My husband and I are like, well, what do we do now? There goes the dangling carrot. So one day I just kind of casually mentioned, hey, you know, since you're not using your iPod, we can give that to your brother, I think. Oh, within 2 weeks, the grade is right back up to A's and B's. And so, you know, helping them to learn that they can't just blow things off just because it's not a value to them anymore, that they need to see something through. It's important to do that on the smaller risks.
When we talk about balancing womanhood and motherhood, certainly motherhood offers those opportunities to connect with your children, but womanhood, you say and strongly believe, offers that opportunity to connect with other women that you need in your life.
Yes, and this is crucial for women, and we don't understand how much we need this. I mean, we do, but we don't make the time for it. In fact, a UCLA study showed that when women are stressed, they have a natural release of hormone called oxytocin, and it makes them desire to gather with women or to tend children. Of course, when I saw that, I was like, tend well-behaved children, I think. But we want to gather, and if we act on that, then more oxytocin is released, and we have this calming effect. That's why don't feel guilty about scheduling that lunch with friends or walking in the morning with your girlfriends, because what we do, that's where we get our praise and our kudos and acknowledging our talents and abilities, and we feed each other together as only women can. That's huge for staying emotionally balanced.
There was an article on KSL.com last week that I shared on my Facebook page about this very thing, saying women need friends. Women need good friends in their life.
Yeah, and a variety. And I loved that article. Elizabeth Hill, I think, is the one that did it. And she had this great quote in there that I loved. She said, no one should feel burdened to fulfill your every need, wish, and whim of companionship. And so that's why that variety is so huge. You've got your, hey, when you go to the soccer games, good to see you, get the scoops. And then you've got your dyed-in-the-wool, old denim friends kind of feeling where you can go real deep. And that spreads that net, and you get that filled feeling, and that softens your edges and makes you feel balanced. And I can get back in the ring. I can do this as a mother, and you're fulfilled as a woman. That's key.
Great advice, Connie, as always. So good to see you. And we want to let you know, to hear more from Connie, her advice and perspective, be sure to check out her website, 8basics.com, a fun challenge going on.
Yes, 8-week challenge to be able to get your life back to center.
Love that. Visit her website. We will link you there from ours. You can get your life under control in 8 weeks. Connie will help you do it. Darren will send it to you.
Thanks, Brooke.